Okay, so this is an idea I had quite a while ago. Is when I was watching that, what I think is brilliant Sherlock Holmes series on ITV, where Jeremy Brett, it's kind of like my perfect Sherlock Holmes. So I absolutely love the Sherlock Holmes stories, and by that I mean the original Victorian versions written by Conan Doyle. Incidentally, I'm aware in this that Holmes isn't real, and he's a figment of Conan Doyle's imagination. In these versions that I love, they have pea supers, people in distress, calling his Baker Street rooms. If he wants to know a train time, he looks up Bradshaw's. There are dark evenings and even darker deeds. Mrs. Hudson fusses around them. And it's widely assumed that Holmes is a master of detection, which, of course, as portrayed, he clearly is. I do think there's some sort of examples of microaggressions against people like Lestrade and Watson, but I'll have a look at that in another one of these. But I do wonder, actually, if Holmes, as he is portrayed by Conan Doyle, is actually really just kind of sidling up to the establishment. By establishment, what I mean, a sort of dominant group of people or elite who control matters both explicitly and also probably implicitly. So whether exploiting sort of back channels, I love back channels. I love it in Homeland where Sol talks about finding stuff out using back channels. And so I'll just give you three examples to sort of try and support my position on this. Excuse me. In the disappearance of Lady Frances Carfax, Holmes goes to Switzerland to investigate where Lady Frances went missing. Now, I suspect that Lady Frances Carfax was not envisaged as a woman who worked as a tosher. That's in Victorian times, a woman who cleaned the sewers. Second example, in a scandal in Bohemia, Holmes helps the Grand Duke of Cassel-Felstein, who is also the hereditary king of Bohemia. Now, again, I suspect the Grand Duke of Cassel-Felstein is not envisaged by Conan Doyle as a mudlark, that in Victorian times was someone who scavenged the mud in the Thames for valuables. And the third, final example, in The Adventure of the Noble Bachelor, Holmes tries to solve an issue of a change in demeanour of the fiancée of Lord Robert St Simon. Again, I don't see Lord Robert as a pure finder. That was a job in Victorian times, apparently, according to Google, that involved clearing dog fecal matter from the London streets. So what I'm arguing is that Holmes, as portrayed by Conan Doyle, does all manner of investigations, but they're almost always exclusively for royalty and the moneyed, sort of fully paid up members in every way of the establishment. So what I thought maybe what would be a good idea to bring Holmes kind of up to date, maybe establish a few more sort of inclusive principles and generally tap into kind of more woke discourse. I'm suggesting a reworking and something that's more reflective of modern times. And to that end, I'm proposing these three storylines. So the first one is Sherlock Holmes and the case of the missing universal credit, or the hacked universal credit. In this, Holmes is called to help the Singh family, who live in Handsworth, who have had their computer hacked and their universal credit stolen. Second one, Sherlock Holmes and the complaint against the Housing Association. In this, Holmes goes to Sunderland to investigate why single mother Tiff Booth has had her name bumped down the list for an affordable house in Houghton-le-Spring. Finally, Sherlock Holmes and the case of the internet troll. In this, Sherlock Holmes is called to help the Brown family who live in Taunton, who've been subject to some particularly nasty internet trolling, after their daughter, Kirsty, pasted some stuff up on her Instagram. So in all those, I think you can agree, no sign of the establishment. Holmes is very much doing his bit to help people who probably have less sort of social capital. And not a sign of any kind of establishment figures involved. And maybe we could consider calling it the new Sherwoke Holmes.